Yes, hello and welcome to the Ennis Road in Limerick for this afternoon's All-Ireland Under-21 football final, at which Kerry will defend the title that they won here 12 months ago. On that occasion they beat Laois. This afternoon it's another Midland team that provides the opposition. This time it's Westmeath. Well, Westmeath, of course, very much in the news in football over this past week. That controversial game against Carlow last Sunday. The latest news on that, if you haven't heard, by the way, is that last night the Leinster Council have decided to grant Carlow a rematch that to take place tomorrow week. Westmeath have appealed the appeal, so this one will run another little bit. However, the concentration this afternoon, of course, is on this Under-21 football final. Looking forward to it. With me is Colm ORourke. Colm, this should be quite a match because this is a good Westmeath team. Kerry are the champions.
Yes, I think Westmeath are a bit underrated and written off by everybody. Kerry have 7 of last year's team, but Westmeath are very strong and probably have had a harder passage coming through with 2 good games with Laois, who were the minor champions 3 years ago. But I think it's going to be a very good game because there's a lot of high quality players that are going to be on their senior teams, and I think people like Tomás O'Shea and Aidan McGarrett for Kerry and the Kennellys, and then on the Westmeath side you'll have Aidan Canning, Shane Deering and probably Desi Dolan, one of the most exciting corner forwards at any level in the game at the moment. So I think the contest between Canning and McGarrett might be one of the ones that will decide it.
OK, well, the two men who have tried to fashion a victory for these two sides are Jack O'Connor, who's in charge of the Kerry team, and Luke Dempsey, who took Westmeath to minor honours a couple of years ago. He's now hoping to do the same thing at under-21 level. The two of them have been talking to Marty Morrissey.
So what is the mood in the Westmeath camp today?
Well, the Westmeath mood is very good and calm and relaxed, and looking forward to this biggest day in the county's history, Marty, and hopefully it'll be a good game and everybody plays up to scratch and that the best team may win.
It's a natural follow-on though in terms of progress. You won the minor title a couple of years ago and now here they are at under-21 level.
Yeah, it's progress that is seen as being so important in Westmeath. The minor win in '95 gave a great sense of barrier breaking in Westmeath, and this team has given a greater sense again because it's a step up in grades, and Westmeath people here in their droves today feel that the next step logically is to compete well in a Leinster Senior Championship in the next couple of years.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. No changes on your side. Let me move on to a man indeed I believe that you were in college together in Maynooth. Jack O'Connor, manager of Kerry Under-21s.
That's right, Marty. We soldied together there in the early 80s, yeah, from 78 to 82 I think, and I've known Luke for a while. We often talk on the phone, and you know, we've been friends, but I'm afraid that'll go out the window for 60 minutes now, Marty.
We in conversation this week perhaps?
Not this week, no. Not this week. In the past few weeks we have been, you know, to monitor progress on the way to the semi-finals, but not since, no.
Some Westmeath people that I met recently said, well, just maybe Kerry might be overconfident. Is there any danger?
I wouldn't think so, Marty. You know, you're never overconfident, you know, when you get on a Kerry first 15, because there's always a couple of guys behind you looking to get your position, so you're going out every game to play well, and I don't think there's any complacency at all.
Any changes?
No changes. Everybody is fine. Looking forward to the game, and you know, hopefully they'll play up to scratch.
Well, may the best team win. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thanks very much, Marty. Great tackle. See you later.
Yes, the final handshake. The action is about to begin. The teams are due out onto the pitch in just a few minutes' time. A big Westmeath support have travelled down for this match. Already there are thousands here on the ground. I have to say that some of the thousands are still out on the Ennis Road. The traffic coming into Limerick this afternoon has been very heavy, and of course a bit of a bottleneck always coming in that Dublin Road. So some of the supporters, I think, will miss the first couple of scores in this match. However, there's plenty of action to look forward to. Our commentator this afternoon is Jack Canning, and Colm ORourke joins him in the commentary box.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Yes, one of the first shots we got there of the fans included Mick Kilcoyne, one of the 4 Kilcoyne hurlers who played and indeed starred for Westmeath not all that terribly long ago. Speaking of long ago, you know, they have very long memories in hurling and in football. Back on the 22nd of September in 1963, Westmeath played Kerry in a minor All-Ireland final and lost heavily by 110 to 2 points that day. And Kerry, with so much tradition behind them, are the first to make it out here onto Páirc na Gael. And a slight amendment to that, of course, because they were both out doing their limbering up process not all that terribly long ago. And on top of that, the Westmeath team had a little stint at Monolay, trying to rid themselves of the nerves and just get everything absolutely right. And when you think about it, it's this Kerry team, 7-8 of whom played in last year's All-Ireland final, and they're back here in Limerick. 12 months ago, the opposition provided, of course, by Laois, and today, well, the throngs and throngs of people from Westmeath here. And now listen to the welcome that Westmeath are getting. They must be outnumbering Kerry here in terms of support by about 10-1. Kerry going for a 10th All-Ireland win at this level, and when you think about it, Westmeath and Laois indeed as well have been the most likely contenders and counties to emerge in the not too distant future, based of course on their All-Ireland success. Admittedly, that was at minor level in Westmeath's case back in 1995. And in the same way, I suppose, other counties, perhaps you think of Armagh, their recent club success, they'll probably be hoping to re-emerge with their collective ambitions. And look at this way that they take the photographs, all for one, one for all, hands around one another. And this has been their tradition all through this particular All-Ireland Under-21 Championship. They have played 6 matches so far, Westmeath. Kerry have played 4, but in Westmeath's case it was a couple of draws that resulted in replays that led to the additional games. Well, Kerry have half of last year's winning team on duty, so in terms of experience, the Kingdom should have a marked advantage. Paul Galvin, such a success in the semi-final, is called into the action from the start. Tomas O'Shea is a major driving influence at the centre-half back position. There's John Sugrue, of course, they're a towering figure in midfield. Well, the half-forward line looks to be the most powerful of all, with the Kennelly brothers, Nolan Tighe, joined by Kerry senior Eildon Mockgerald. The problem with Mockgerald is that he has got an injury. Here's Luke Dempsey, in charge in 1995, but he's only got a couple of those lads available to him, and it's a completely new Westmeath team that he has fashioned. They nominate the same team that saw off Monaghan in the semi-final. 4 of them were selected but not chosen to start in last Sunday's Leinster Football Championship, which seems all a bit confusing. But the captain Aidan Canning and top scorer Desi Dolan are really impressive talents, while Joe Fallon at right corner forward, as we look into the forward line, he's amassed a grand total of 2 goals and 21 points for Westmeath in their 6 matches to date. So Dolan and Fallon, that's where the scoring strength really does lie, in the Westmeath forward line. And this tall man here will be hoping to have a huge influence if he gets the opportunity to shine for Luke Dempsey's team this afternoon. But in terms of the preparation, Colm, these guys nowadays at under-21 level, it's every bit as professional as anything you'd find anywhere else. Yeah, certainly, Jared. It's amazing. We've been here now a half an hour watching the teams work out on the pitch. Both sides had a workout earlier in the morning. I think if it was something like that when I was playing, I'd never have made the games at all. I'd have been whacked out by the time the game started. Certainly, in terms of professional approach, I think under-21 football now is probably on a par with what senior football was 10 years ago. And it's a lovely grade as well, because it's usually devoid of animosity, and we usually get the very best of strengths: high fielding, good distribution, accurate score taking, and so on. This should be a game well worth watching. Some people have said and forecast this could indeed be one of the games of the year. Yes, well, the conditions are perfect for the game too. The ground is in great condition, and there's a very slight wind, and it's overcast and yet mild, so you couldn't plan for a better day for a game of football. So really, in cases like this, I think your top class players really shine, and I'm looking forward to seeing 2 of the best forwards in the game. Desi Dolan from Westmeath at left corner forward, number 15. He'll be one to watch out for. Eildon Mockgerald, assuming that the injury doesn't tie him up too much, number 11 for Kerry, and of course the 2 Kennelly brothers, who probably were going to play a role in this year's senior championship, or if not this year, very, very soon. Interesting that one of the team officials was in there having a little check with the referee, and you just wonder, are they all a tiny bit confused about this so-called personal fouling? It doesn't exist in the rule book anymore. It's aggressive fouling and technical fouling nowadays. What did you make of last night's decision? Well, to be quite honest with you, Ger, I was amazed that a decision was made to grant a replay. I thought that the referee, despite the fact that he showed so many yellow cards, that nobody could point to him and say that there's a rule in the book which he openly flouted. All that the referee did was he went by the letter of the law.
sign that the referees were given last year when they were given a warning to a first offence is an interpretation. It's not an actual rule. So I think that it's a very strange decision, and I don't know. I think that it's one that shouldn't have been made in my book anyway.
Well, the two captains there, and that's Noel Kennelly on the right-hand side. Aidan Canning, no relation I can tell you, is the Westmeath captain. And a huge day for both these players. Great day for the Kennelly family as well, having Noel and Tig involved. Tig is the left half forward. He's only 17 years of age. Well, by the way, just going back to the Carlow-Westmeath match of last Sunday, which is scheduled for next weekend, there is to be a press conference, I gather, in Croke Park on Tuesday, just to tease out for all our benefits what the exact guidelines given to referees regarding aggressive fouls, to use the correct term, is to be for this particular championship.
Yes, it'll be interesting to hear that, because basically what we're saying is that the game is null and void from last Sunday, and if that's the case, then all the players who were sent off really should be entitled to play next week. So
well, 3 of them are not, apparently.
3 of them are not, so it's a strange decision from that point of view as well. If it was a game, then the result should stand. If it wasn't a game, then everybody who played last Sunday should be entitled to play again, irrespective of whether they were put off or not.
Well, our full concentration now on Westmeath and Kerry. Kerry are very definitely the overwhelming favourites to take their 10th title. Against Westmeath, they'll be hoping to pick up their very, very first. That's Paul Galvin there, the number 13 corner forward for Kerry. Did really well in the recent semi-final to earn inclusion from the outset. He got a goal and a point in that semi-final against Roscommon. That's David O'Shaughnessy, a hugely influential midfield player for Westmeath. He's a commerce student at UCD, same as Desi Dolan, the corner forward, but Desi is on a UCG scholarship. Luke Dempsey then, I'm sure, will hope to enjoy the afternoon in the company of the other selectors, who are Ewan McCormack, Paddy McCormack, Michael Lydon and Sean Neven. That's Tommy Griffin from Dingle. No indication of a parade or anything like that, and Jack O'Connor there seemed to also go into the referee, Brendan Gorman from Armagh, and perhaps wondering about possible instructions that he should be giving his team in terms of rules and regulations and procedure and so on. Big day for Brendan Gorman from Armagh. He's a member of the St Paul's Club in Lurgan. He's been refereeing now for about 9 years. He was in the man in the middle league for the 1996 All-Ireland minor semi-final between Kerry and Mayo, but this is probably his biggest day so far as a man with the whistle. Well, that's one imitation, but the real one is what they'll be hoping to take home with them to various places in Athlone, Mullingar and so on. And there's Marty just doing a little check with the referee as well, and Marty will be giving us updates from the sideline if anything happens in terms of the coaches about to make a switch or a change or whatever. So, just as at senior level, the traditional huddle. And the teams now will stand and face the tricolour, which is away to the left of us here, down towards the Ennis Road. Explosion of noise here at Pork Mamoyle in Limerick. They were estimating a crowd of about 10,000 for this particular final. Might even be exceeded by the time everybody manages to get here. because of the difficulty with the traffic and so on. It's going to be Kerry who will play into the goal on our left. Kerry's so used to being in finals of